This experience has been one of the most magical, crazy, comedic, love-filled, absolutely f***ing ridiculous thing I've ever done in my life.
The Radar Dames Burlesque is Wenatchee's naughtiest stage review. I partnered with Moxie Rose a couple of years ago to start scheming on getting a burlesque group going in town. As it turns out, it's something she had wanted to do for a number of years.
Because I got a lot of time to kill by myself. And don't forget, you're giving your roses away that first time you come out. So you're moving with quickness until at least you can get that done. I have tried for 11 years to get burlesque up and going in Wenatchee. I actually started teaching burlesque as fitness at the Rack 11 years ago when I first moved here to kind of get my feelers out and see if the town would be ready for it. Everybody wanted to do it, and nobody wanted to do it on stage. So it took me a few years of kind of just letting that lay low, and I was really, really lucky enough to find 3 women that were willing to take a chance on me, and it became this amazing thing that grew into a much larger family that's been just the greatest experience of my life.
With over 20 sold-out performances under their garter belts, the Dames have made quite an impression on the Valley in a very short time. The venues keep getting bigger, the shows more complicated, and the crowds are becoming rabid fans. It's fun to see something hit so well that it almost feels like it's always been here.
So that's, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you spin 5, 6, okay, 8. Do it again. Yep. So I just did 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I think I got it.
So the Radar Dames is my first troupe. I've been a performer for a long time, but I was interested in getting into burlesque because I like the idea of expression of sexuality and sensuality, and a great thing about the Dames is we all express those things in a very unique way unto ourselves. Some of us use humor, some of us use horror, some of us, go way outside of the box of what you would contemporarily think applies to like sensuality, and it's been a really awesome thing to get to explore.
A lot of attention away, and then have like one person from this group and one person from this group cross and go to the other as they do. So basically like introing you to the audience. Right.
This is gonna be more like music video, but I always like to go the approach of teaching everybody all the choreography.
Perfect.
If it's not already clear, when I spoke to the group, they were in the middle of a promotional shoot for an upcoming St. Patrick's Day show at Stein in Leavenworth. This marks the very first time the Dames will be hitting the stage in our beloved little Bavarian wonderland, and proving that burlesque is for all genders.
So burlesque has been really fun for me. I started taking my shirt off on stage, playing saxophone, and then went around and won an amateur burlesque contest for men, where they gave me a big wrestling belt and then took it back. And then I wanted that belt so bad I kept doing burlesque in different places as we toured as a band. Did a punk rock burlesque and then wound up in Wenatchee. Been living here the last year, and started with the Radar Dames about almost a year ago. And it's been, as Moxie Rose said, it was liberating to be able to take your artistry and fold it into duos and trios and dance with your friends, and by the end, partially naked.
That's it. That's the whole interview.
That's my feelings about that. Because I know I can dance, but I'm not confident in like speaking to people. Yeah, it's like I grew up dancing like with my family. Whenever there was a gathering, we'd always just create a dance floor and dance. So I've just been dancing all my life. Whenever we would go to clubs and there was no one dancing, I wouldn't care. I'd go out there and dance by myself. When we started coming to the Radar Dames shows, it was awesome. And I always thought like, oh, what would I do if I were a part of that? And some of the ideas that I had come up with at the shows, I actually was able to do in the shows now. And it's been so amazing. I've been very artistic my whole life, and being a burlesque dancer, there's so much that goes into it, so much different art that goes into it, the makeup, the hair, the costumes, the songs, the characters that you create. It's been amazing, and I feel like I've grown so much as an artist being a part of this.
Burlesque is my kind of art.
I have been booking music and entertainment for a few years now, and it's been really fun to be behind stage. But when I heard that auditions were coming for the Radar Dames Burlesque, I jumped on it. I haven't been on stage in over 10 years since high school, so it's definitely quite a jump. But it's been completely amazing, and it's made me love my body so much more after having 2 kids than I ever thought possible, going through everything with postpartum depression, gaining weight, losing weight. Burlesque doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your body type is like. It doesn't matter how you look in any form other than you have a lot of glitter and feathers that fall everywhere, and it's been amazing to have glitter and feathers all over my life.
All the dancers come up with their own routines, outfits, personas, and shticks. With so much that goes into the prep work, the dancing is likely the easy part. Not that I could do it.
What I absolutely love about being a Radar Dame is the fact that I get to play with the most courageous, sexy people that I've ever worked with in my entire life. I get to learn something new with each show, and I get to watch people enjoy the stripping and enjoy the laughter. There's nothing sexier than wit, and when you get to add stripping to it, what a joy and what a pleasure. I've really learned that there's no limit to what you can do. Every body is a burlesque body. It's fabulous.
So this is my first time as part of a burlesque troupe. I fell in love with burlesque seeing it at the Pink Door, and I was so excited. Skylar was starting a troupe in Wenatchee, and I couldn't wait to be part of it. Growing up, I was always super athletic and more of a tomboy, but I really liked dressing up. And I was always told that I shouldn't accept my body for how it was. I was too heavy, too chunky, I got made fun of, and I always loved myself. So I search out things that empower me and empower other women to feel good about themselves. And this has only taken that to the next level. And I encourage everybody to come see a show, because every time my friends tell me how empowered they are, that they see us do this, and that it makes them feel better about themselves. And that's why I love it.
Empowerment seems to be the root word concerning burlesque, especially for women, and especially in a very tricky time concerning sexual politics in general. The Radar Dames were essentially forged during the height of the Me Too movement, and this has caused a lot of well-meaning folks to feel like maybe they have to show up to one of these with a bit more reservation than they would, say, a comedy show or a typical musical performance. And while, of course, you're expected to remain above board, burlesque is a very unique world unto its own self. And concerning the occasional complaint of overly sexualizing women or burlesque being a type of exploitation, Moxie Rose sums it up beautifully.
There's nothing wrong with sexualizing women as long as they are the ones defining what that looks like for themselves. We are all here of our own volition. Every bit of creativity that goes into everybody's dances is completely brought together by them. It is designed from the ground up by each dancer. So everything that you see about that dance, however sexual it is, however goofy it is, whatever it is something that they chose to bring to the table and what meant something to them. And I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but for myself, I am the mother of a toddler. To be reminded that I am more than somebody's mom, somebody's snack bitch, really kind of meant something to me, because it was reaching down inside myself and finding that person I used to be, the one that was more than just a mom, more than just running around doing errands, more than keeping up a household. I got to be this sexual being, this person that was completely comfortable in owning who they were. And you know, we get asked a lot about the exploitation angle of it, but we completely control this from the ground up. So we are not being exploited by anybody. And honestly, if you think about it, all we do is exactly what we do at home. We dress up, take our clothes off, we have fun dancing around, we have an absolute blast doing it, and people stand there and cheer us on and hand over their hard-earned money. So I mean, really, who's being exploited here?
I like to dance. I get hot while doing it. That's why my clothes come off.